I don't know who this man is.
You know that we've been here before. It's gonna break your heart times two. So now I'm telling you, get over it.
Make sure you check out my new clothing line from the Sade collection. Items you can rock daily whilst looking fire and confident with the bold and unique designs. All sizes and colours available, link in the description.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be on a celebrity, Post Malone. I'm sure you guys are familiar with him. He's had so much smash hits, he's had so much success over these past couple of years. He is a 24-year-old American musician. His real name is Austin Post. I am so devastated with what I'm seeing on my timeline on Twitter. I'm seeing so much videos. It's really scary. If you haven't seen these videos already, I'm going to go ahead and put them on the screen for you guys to go ahead and watch.
Oh, what? Wait! Huh?
Fuck. You know, tour is rough. And I just want to say, no matter what the fuck is going on with me emotionally, physically, mentally, being able to come out here and sing these songs with you guys saves my fucking life every time. So I just want to say thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
You can see he can't even stand up. He is trying to get up in certain videos. There's other videos where you can see he's intoxicated, whether that be alcohol, drugs. We know Post Malone takes drugs. It's obvious. I think he's even said that in plenty of songs. As listeners, sometimes we don't really take on board what the musicians are saying in their lyrics because we're just so obsessed with like a beat or how catchy something is. There are too many young musicians specifically who are losing their life. You know, Mac Miller, Juice WRLD, the list can go on, honestly. It's down to drug misuse and the excessive amount of drugs they are taking in on a regular. Please, whenever an artist comes out with music, yes, you can generally support them and love the vibe of the song, but if you hear them talk about like them excessively taking drugs, them smoking so much, you have to like take that on board. There's a red flag there. It's happened with Juice WRLD. There were so many times in these songs where he was basically talking about death, drugs. Looking back now, obviously that he's passed away, we can see in the lyrics that something wasn't right all along. A lot of artists like to be vulnerable with their music more than talking to people, more than like tweeting about something. My friend went to a Post Malone concert here in London last year, and I texted her this morning because I was thinking, wait, Post Malone is like a crazy dude anyways. I remember that she went to a concert this time last year. So I texted her and I'll put it on the screen for you guys right now. It's scary to see the way his eyes were. It's like he's not even in control of his own body. I don't know if you guys got the vibe when watching the video, but I'm scared because I don't want to see someone pass away. It's not because he's successful or because I like his music. I just don't like hearing about death. I don't like hearing about how somebody is excessively doing things that they know isn't good for their body. To all the people watching who are saying, oh no, we're just being dramatic, I don't think we are. I think it's better to be cautious and to take actions before things get worse. But you don't want in like a week or two or a couple of months or years time to find out that this guy, amazing artist, has passed away due to something that you thought was us being dramatic. I say this all the time, don't take drugs. Don't do all of that. It may seem enticing. You may hear rappers talk about this. You may think it's the good life. But honestly, I just think it doesn't blur anything away. You can watch a Post Malone interview. You can see he's a really like giddy guy. He's funny, entertaining, but just don't see that anymore. You just don't see that bubbly guy who's energetic, who is super dope. Like, I like Post Malone. I actually watch his interviews. I find them very entertaining. Like, too much of everything isn't good for you. So some people just need to be reminded of that, but something isn't right here. Something is very strange and odd with Post Malone's behavior on stage. Everyone goes through stuff in their own life, and people think that musicians don't go through things, but obviously they do. They're human beings. They breathe, they sweat, They do everything that we do. There's the only difference is, you know, they're more popular, they have a bigger income, and I feel like people don't realize that he could be going through stuff. Maybe it's relationship, family issues, money, career. We don't know what it is. Rehab is obviously an option. Some people don't want to go with that. Some people do. Speaking to somebody and letting out how you feel will be good. Drinking isn't cool, isn't healthy. It's normal, unfortunately, but it shouldn't be normal. And in this day and age, that's all we see in the media. That's all we see rappers talking about. That's all we see rappers flexing about. So it's like, if we can bring some sort of awareness to this, if we can create a conversation for it, why are you mad, bro? For the type of industry Post Malone is in, they don't help you with drugs. They don't help you with how to bounce back from something. This has happened with so many musicians who are either dead or alive today. They don't have a suitable team around them to tell them what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. There's so many yes people on teams where they're like, yes, do it, do it, do it, because it's like for the culture, or because it will land you this opportunity, or because everybody else is doing it, so you should do it. It's like, when you're becoming a celebrity or musician, there's no training with it. It just happens. There's so much things handed to you on a platter. They don't teach you how to like calm down. They don't teach you when to like not take drugs, when to not do this. In this industry, it's very toxic. There's tons of evil eyes. There's tons of people who want you to do bad things in order to thrive. And we've heard stories from like Justin Bieber. He mentioned it in his recent docu-series thing called Changes, where he was talking about drug misuse too. At the age of 13, he was experimenting with drugs, and nobody knew this besides his family and personal friends. And he recently spoke to the media about it and was saying that, like, you know, sometimes it happens. Sometimes you're around the wrong group of crowd. Sometimes your parents are just brought up that way, so that's all you see. And then you don't know when to stop because it becomes this ongoing pattern. And in that industry, no one tells you when to stop. It's just okay, if you're gonna keep taking drugs and you're making good music with it, okay, cool, do it. As much as I am a musician myself, you've got to be very cautious, and not everybody is like strong enough to really just cope and deal with things. Like, think of how many musicians you know who have gone down the route of like drug misuse specifically. Drug misuse is what's killing a lot of people, and I hate to like be all dark right now, but that's the reality. What the music industry is becoming. Specifically, a lot of young artists are losing their lives due to just excessively drinking because they're trying to bottle their feelings, or because they feel like, oh, every other rapper is doing it, let me do it. You never know what the outcome is going to be like for you. So please be mindful, think smart. Think of whether what you're doing is going to affect you in a positive manner or negative manner. And peer pressure is always something that exists in every single aspect of life, but try to be strong and not to like fit into what everybody else is doing, because it's a cool thing to do. It's so sad that in a lot of schools now, as early as like 11 years old, people are still experimenting with drugs. People are taking drugs at school, and it's just for some reason accessible to get. A lot of musicians do feel that people just come up to them and ask them for a picture without actually knowing stuff about them. So like, a lot of people don't even know that Post Malone's real name is Austin Richard Post. People don't know these things, and obviously like, you can just appreciate the music and not necessarily care about the artists themselves. But watching tons of interviews from musicians, because I'm such a pop culture freak, a lot of them do say that like, they really would appreciate if they could have a conversation with fans instead of just them asking for pictures and just feeling like this robot and this animal that's controlled by the industry, which is what it's like for tons of people. And I do want to make an in-depth video about like musicians who I feel like are being controlled, who have been controlled more or less over the years, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me hear your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.